ES Audio.
Hello, I'm Mark Blunden, and this is the Evening Standard's Tech and Science Daily. Coming up, Microsoft investigates the cause of outage, but first, controversial live facial recognition, and a London borough where it's deployed is protesting to the Metropolitan Police to ban its public use.
There's a form of surveillance that scans crowds for individual faces and maps out details of your face, such as the distance between your eyes, the length of your nose, the shape of your mouth, and creates face prints and tries to find similar face prints within a crowd that matches those of criminals on a wanted list that the Metropolitan Police has.
That's Newham councillor Ariq Chowdhury, who says there's serious concerns over accuracy, racial profiling and poor regulation hitting public confidence over the Home Office sanctioned mobile scanner vans.
We work with the police all the time, but as representatives of the people of Newham, it's also our responsibility to speak up for them especially when their rights are being compromised. And that's what's happening with facial recognition surveillance. If you think about what's actually happening is the police is collecting data on individual people and their faces at a level of detail that me and you wouldn't even know about our own faces.
There's also long-standing criticism, while Met budgets are being squeezed, that it's policing on the cheap.
I meet lots of people who have their houses robbed or their bikes nicked and nothing is ever done. To tackle those sorts of crimes, the police need to invest in other mechanisms and not think that technologies are, quick money-saving opt-out, because it's not, people want effective crime-solving solutions, not sort of technologies that don't really work.
Scotland Yard tells Tech and Science Daily officers deploy live facial recognition based on specific intelligence in consultation with local groups targeting, as they describe it, hard-to-find suspects, posing a risk to the public. Now, were you struggling to log on to your Teams meeting or send an Outlook email on Microsoft's cloud service 365? Downdetector showed thousands of Britons reporting being unable to access software services, also including Minecraft and Xbox Live. As 365 limped back to life, Microsoft blamed a network change and tweeted engineers were continuing to monitor the recovery. Now, move over, Musk, because NASA's own boffins are building a nuclear rocket they say could blast humans to Mars up to 5 times faster than existing chemical propulsion. It opens the tempting possibility of slashing the 7-month travel time to the desolate red planet. So how does it work? Well, this technology introduces heat from a nuclear fission reactor to a hydrogen propellant to provide a thrust. It's also claimed the system could be better for astronaut health, as they wouldn't have to zoom through space for so long. America's infamous TSA No Fly List, with a huge 1.5 million entries, has been leaked online after a hacker discovered it on an apparently unprotected server. The index features people banned from flying to or in the United States. In what's a case of seriously update your server, the list includes more terror suspects than you can shake a stick at, plus prisoner swap Russian arms dealer Victor Bout, along with a ton of Middle Eastern and Irish names, plus addresses, passport numbers and pilot's license info. The server's run by Commute Air, who blamed a misconfiguration of its server. It says it's an old list from 2019, so that's alright then. The ominous-sounding Doomsday Clock, which is used to represent how close the world is to catastrophe, now stands at just 90 seconds to midnight. But why?
The members of the Science and Security Board moved the hands of the Doomsday Clock forward, largely, though not exclusively, because of the mounting dangers in the war in Ukraine.
That's Rachel Bronson, Chief Executive of the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, who developed the clock, which has been sitting at 100 seconds from midnight since 2020, with the start of the COVID-19 pandemic adding to global warming fears. Let's go to the ads. Stay there for more news from the world of tech and science, plus Twitter God mode and Taylor Swift bot attack public apology. Why not hit rate and follow in the meantime? Welcome back. A study shone a light on how, as demand for better human living conditions booms, tigers and lions are being targeted by poachers.
What we've shown in our research is that socioeconomic growth, so the growth in people's quality of life, their income, their life expectancy, this socioeconomic growth is the biggest driver of declines in large carnivores.
That's study lead author Dr. Thomas Frederick Johnson from the University of Reading, who explains the conflict in countries where humans and big cats coexist.
So this socioeconomic growth sort of represents a choice that people are making, where they're poaching and persecuting these carnivores in order to remove the risk of losing their livelihoods.
The study is published in the journal Nature Communications. Now, the Twitter whistleblowers claiming so-called God mode is still available to company staff. The claim was made in a filing with the Federal Trade Commission and follows similar disclosures by the company's former head of security, Peter Zatko. It alleges that God mode gives any Twitter engineer the ability to tweet from any account after first coming to light in 2020 when the site was hacked by 17-year-old Graham Clark. According to the Wall Street Journal, the unnamed whistleblower claims the tool's now been renamed from God mode to privileged mode, but adding the program line, think before you do this. And finally, Taylor Swift's received an official apology from Ticketmaster in the US Senate after a bot attack left thousands of devoted Swifties unable to buy concert tickets. Joe Berchtold, who's president of the ticketing giant's parent company Live Nation, told the Senate Committee on Consumer Rights its system was overwhelmed by demand for the superstar singer-songwriter's Eras tour. The company's also explained how its systems were targeted by software bots to illegally obtain tickets. You're up to date. Come back at 4 p.m. for the Leader podcast, where we bring you the latest news, interviews and analysis from the Evening Standard here in London. We'll be back at 1 p.m. tomorrow. See you then.